welcome to day 60. Today is a grow day and I'm also going to educate you in this video with a funny little illustration on how the body repairs and grows muscle tissue. So this video should be fun. Hopefully you learn something and you're able to apply this to build your muscles to their maximal potential. Enjoy. So in this video, I'm going to show you a fun illustrative way of how the scientific process of muscle breakdown, repair, and growth occurs. So we're going to start here. This is all how it goes down in my mind, what happens in the body. So we're going to start with our guy here. He pretty much only trains arm day. He's got one big arm he likes to flex, but that's okay. He's pretty happy about it anyway. He doesn't mind that he just trains arm day. All right, so this is the guy and this is his muscles, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and blow that up a little bit so you can get a better look at what's going inside his muscles. So I actually can draw okay, but for the sake of timing here, we're not gonna spend too much effort. So when we look inside his muscles, okay, his muscles are built up of chains of amino acids and protein, the building blocks of muscles. We're going to go ahead and use a pencil with this because muscle can be broken down and built on. So we want it to be addable. So we've got our brick wall here of muscle. Now there's also mechanisms inside the body that are responsible for building and repairing this muscle, as well as maintaining it and keeping track of everything. So we have our little construction workers in here, our little blue guys. And they're just having a grand old day. Little froggy eyes. Just admiring their work there of the brick wall. So they're proud of themselves. They build a big arm. They probably need to work on some other areas of the body too, but hey, he's proud of his arm day. Maybe he's an arm wrestler. So they're very proud of their brick wall and the amino acid wall they've constructed. They've got a nice, big, strong arm. So first of all, what are you going to do to stimulate more growth in a certain area? Well, you're going to need to have resistance, something that's going to trigger the body mechanisms, the construction workers, to know that they need to work on building and repairing a stronger wall for next time. So that resistance is going to come in the form of weights. Make our little tank here. Just for illustrative purposes, we'll put a barbell on it so you know it's the weights. And the weights, the iron, feeling very sneaky. They're always up to no good. They want to come in and just break down the muscle. They don't know that you have a purpose behind it. So the weights come in and actually tear down the muscle. And break it down like so. This causes our little construction workers, the body's growth mechanisms, to freak out and say, okay, this resistance has just come in unexpectedly and broken down our wall. We need to build this back bigger, stronger, thicker, and denser so that it's able to withstand next time that attack comes on our wall. So they get to work. But wait, what are they going to use to actually build and repair the wall? That is where the actual bricks of food come into play. So you need to be eating enough food and the right kinds of food, we'll label this guy as well, to actually repair the muscle. So by ingesting food, that food then goes into the bloodstream, is shuttled around, and the body's mechanisms and construction workers are then able to take the food and use it to build back a bigger and stronger wall. Now, the building blocks of muscle growth are mainly protein. There are other things that are in there, such as muscle glycogen, but as far as actual building and repairing, this is why protein is so important to bodybuilders. By ingesting protein, you're giving those building blocks to your little construction workers, and they're able to build back a bigger and stronger wall. So we'll add another layer of brick on here. So bigger, stronger wall, bigger, stronger muscle. Now there's a couple things to keep in mind when you do that. This is the basic mechanism of muscle building, but there are some things you can do incorrectly. First of all, you can put on too big of an attack with the weights, especially if you're new at this, and you can tear the wall down too far and blow it up all the way to the bottom. So let's say that happens. You go in, you do a 3-hour workout, 6 days a week. You're tearing the wall all the way down, and you're not giving the construction workers enough time, food, or energy to be able to build back the wall to the previous place. This is what's called overtraining. So if you don't allow the wall to be constructed back to its main layer, over time you can actually cause the body to start to break down, and you can lose muscle size and density. So this can occur through not enough bricks for the construction workers to use, not enough time given to our little construction workers to use the bricks, or just overwhelming the construction workers. There's not enough of them in there, and they can't keep up, and eventually just kind of give up and do their best and just work with maintenance. Now you can also build back to the previous point. This is if you have enough food to get you back to maintenance. The weights you've done in the past, it gives that similar effect, breaks down the muscle a little bit. Our construction workers know exactly how to respond. They'll build the muscle back to that same point, and you're good to go. Now, our goal obviously is muscle hypertrophy, which means muscle growth. So we want to grow up that extra layer. So that's going to require extra bricks, extra food, extra time to give the construction workers to actually build that wall up the next layer before we tear it down again. This is where rest, recovery, and growth days are so important. And then obviously next time you go in, once the wall is built back bigger than ever, you're going to need to give it more force to repeat the process and make the wall come back even bigger the next time. You can't just use the same weights for the same repetition and the same time under tension, or our little construction workers are just going to build the wall exactly the same as it was before. Now this is also where the stimulate, don't annihilate comes into play. If you completely annihilate the muscle and break it too far down to where the construction workers and the brick can't keep up, that's where you're going to overtrain and you've annihilated. You want to stimulate just enough to get the construction workers forced to build back a bigger, stronger wall in response, but at the same time not tear it down too far that they can't keep up with the demand and have the time and resources to build it back better. Remember, the more you break the wall down, the more time and resources our little construction workers are going to need to build that wall back up and build it bigger. Now, another issue is obviously not enough food. If you use the weights to tear down the wall and the construction workers go to repair it, then without enough food, the body's first going to use the fuel and the food for things like your heart beating and blood pumping, which I guess ties into the heart beating, breathing, digesting, walking around, things that obviously need to occur for you to live. Now, as far as muscle building, this is actually an inconvenience to the body once you get to a certain degree, because more muscle just means more weight and more of yourself that the body has to feed, support, and lug around. So you have to consistently provide our construction workers with enough bricks to allow them to know that the basic mechanisms of survival, such as the heart beating, can be done with no problem, and there's plenty of resources and bricks left over for them to build up the muscle. Then, with the right stimulus from the weights, it'll cause the construction workers to panic, see that their wall has been broken into, and build back a bigger and stronger wall. So make sure you are giving your body plenty of fuel and plenty of protein to be able to construct that wall back bigger. Now, the other issue that can occur is not enough time. So you may be eating plenty of food and giving your construction workers plenty of bricks, but if you're working out every single day, or if you're working out a muscle group without giving it a chance to fully recover, then the weights come in, they break the muscle down, and as the construction workers are in the process of laying the bricks on for the new wall, you come in with the weights again and break the muscle down some more. Or even if you're training another muscle group, then the construction workers and resources have to then go to that area before this wall is fully recovered and repaired. This is why it is so important, especially in a muscle building phase, to take days off for recovery. And this is why the 12-week blueprint to muscle is structured how it is. You get maximal amount of stimulation while still giving the body maximal time to recover and repair in between. This is why I've been able to make the rapid progress on muscle gains and strength that I have while progressively overloading every single workout with still giving the body plenty of chance to recover. We're stimulating the muscles 3 days a week, so more frequent than a typical split, but we're also giving a grow day, recovery day off for the body to focus on building back that wall 4 days a week. So that old school split has been doing wonders, and that's the science behind why. So make sure you give your construction workers enough time to build back the wall to full and then even bigger than before coming back at it with more heavier weights. Now, the last thing that I'll focus on is the actual force of the weight training. Now, I already touched on it a little bit, but in order to build bigger muscle, obviously you need the muscle to have a chance and time and resources to build back and repair bigger than before. But then when you come in to train with the weights again, you're going to need even more force. Let's give our tank an extra barbell plate on here. Maybe a little diesel stack too. That looks really good for the environment. So the next time you come in to tear down the bigger and stronger wall, obviously in order to chip into it, you're going to need either more weight, more reps, more sets, or more time under tension. These are all variables that you can play with and are specifically laid out how exactly to do that to your maximal benefit in the 12-week blueprint to muscle. So you're going to come in with the, let's say, more weights or 1 or 2 more reps, whatever allows you to fall in that repetition range that I have laid out. And that way you're going to give enough force to break down that new, stronger wall. Again, just enough that it triggers our construction workers and they freak out, oh no, we need to build back a bigger wall. Then you're going to give them more resources, more bricks, more time, and they can add even another layer, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously, this takes time and years and dedication and consistency to build up, as that occurs little by little. However, with the correct knowledge when it comes to progressive overload and stimulation with the weight training, the correct knowledge on how to implement the fuel, the food to give bricks, and the correct knowledge on how to recover and give our little construction workers time to build back and repair bigger, stronger muscle tissues, you too can have one giant arm. No, I'm just kidding. You can have 2 giant arms and giant other muscles. Everything giant that you want. And you can be as happy as our little guy here. So I hope that gives you a basic, simple explanation and how my kind of crazy brain works on thinking about the mechanisms of how the body stimulates, muscle growth. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you do have any further questions on it, you can feel free to leave a comment down below. Or if you would like to see more silly educational videos like this, you can also let me know down below. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you had some fun watching it. And now that's going to be stuck in your head. Every time you have a grow day, you're going to be thinking about giving those little men the time and the fuel and resources to build back your brick wall, let it get to a stronger status, and then get back in the gym with new, better tanks to tear it down a little bit again. So anyway, I hope you had a fantastic time. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Enjoy the rest of your grow day.